One minute you're working like any other normal day. The next, you hit the floor, no warning. And in that split second, everything changes. Not just your health, but your entire financial future. Picture this. You collapse without warning. Your vision goes black. You come back, but life doesn't. Most people understand the physical pain of chronic illness, but hardly anyone talks about the financial strain that follows. This isn't just my story. It could be yours, your family's, or someone you love. By the end of this video, you'll understand why free healthcare doesn't always mean cost-free, and how the out-of-pocket expenses can still leave many people overwhelmed. Over 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with Chiari malformation and began experiencing drop attacks, a neurological condition where I can suddenly collapse without warning. I won't go into the full medical details here, as I've already covered that in a separate video, which is linked in the description. But what I want you to understand is this: the hardest part of living with a chronic condition isn't always what it does to your body. It's what it does to your finances. I live in Canada, and people often say, at least healthcare is free. And yes, hospital care, surgery, imaging, emergency treatment are covered. But the real challenge is the ongoing out-of-pocket medical expenses that slowly drain your savings. Let me break down one of the hardest truths about living with chronic illness. Survival comes with a price tag: prescription medication. The pills that keep me stable and manage pain are not free. Physiotherapy, without it, I can't function properly. And as someone who's self-employed, there's no workplace insurance. Massage therapy, essential for managing muscle tension and spasms, also not covered. Adaptive support gear, orthopedic pillows, neck braces, even a shoulder sling after I fell down the stairs during a drop attack. None of this is luxury care. This is the cost of maintaining basic function. Here's something most people never consider. When you live with drop attacks, you don't just pay for treatment. You pay to prevent the next emergency, like a fall alert system connected to Lifeline. It offers 24/7 emergency support. If I collapse, I can call for help with just one press. And in many cases, it automatically detects a fall and sends an alert. It also includes GPS tracking, so responders know where to find me in an emergency. Medic alert bracelet. Another recurring fee. First responders need to know what's happening. Transportation. In earlier years, I relied on taxis, then recently Uber, to get to medical appointments and pharmacies. And on the hardest days, when I can't trust my body at all, I rely on friends to drive me. However it happens, it still adds up to hundreds of dollars every month just to move around safely. Because when your life becomes a constant risk, every expense turns into a survival decision. What's even more difficult is I'm self-employed, so no employment insurance. No work means no income. People often say that's what disability insurance is for. But in my case, I don't qualify. My symptoms are unpredictable. Some days I function as if nothing is wrong. Other days, I can collapse without warning. That level of instability makes it difficult to meet eligibility requirements. So while I may appear capable of working, the truth is I'm one unexpected episode away from not being able to work at all. That means I'm not just managing medical expenses. I'm navigating financial instability because my ability to work can change from day to day. Like many people living with chronic illness, I kept working through it, even when I was unwell. I sat through meetings, pushing through pain. I smiled, nodded, and pretended everything was fine. Not because I was strong, but because I couldn't afford to be sick. The fear of losing income, being seen as unreliable, or losing your job pushes you into silent survival mode. These are decisions no one should ever have to make. Yet for so many people living with chronic illness, they become the daily reality. The isolation that comes with chronic illness isn't just physical, it can also be financial. There were times I wanted to meet friends, grab a coffee, or just feel normal, but instead I stayed home. Not because I wanted to be alone, but because I had to choose survival over connection. You start choosing treatment over social life, stability over community, and over time, without even realizing it, you begin to fade from the world you were once part of. You start disconnecting, not because you want to, but because you're exhausted from surviving. And yes, there are moments when I needed help, but long-term assistance isn't always affordable. I want to be honest because this changed how I view support. I've been incredibly blessed to have friends and a caring church community. During difficult periods, especially after severe episodes, they check in, help with groceries, and drive me to appointments. That kind of kindness has meant the world to me. And I know not everyone has that. But even with an amazing support system, the financial weight doesn't disappear. Emotional support helps you stay strong for the day, but financial pressure is still there every minute. Let me show you what recovery really looks like financially. When I have a severe episode, I may be unable to work for 1, sometimes 2 weeks. As someone who is self-employed, that often means no income during that time. I've been blessed, and I believe God has always provided exactly what I need when I needed it. I haven't faced the level of hardship that many others do. But what I've learned is this. For many people living with chronic illness, financial stress during recovery delays healing. Because when stress becomes part of recovery, healing takes a little longer to catch up. The impact of financial stress on chronic illness isn't just emotional, it becomes physical. When financial worry becomes constant, when every month feels like choosing between health and survival, your body shifts into fight or flight mode. And when stress becomes constant, it doesn't just affect how you feel. It affects your recovery, your energy, your sleep, and even your ability to heal. Here's something most people don't realize. The financial burden of chronic illness doesn't only affect the patient. Spouses may become part-time caregivers, often reducing their own income. Family members adjust schedules or turn down opportunities to provide support. Sometimes even children delay their plans to help hold everything together. Chronic illness affects more than the person diagnosed. It impacts everyone who walks through it with them. As someone who has walked this journey both as a patient and an insurance broker, creating a financial emergency fund specifically for health-related expenses can become a vital safety cushion during recovery or help cover disability or critical illness protection. Even small, consistent contributions make a difference. It's not about saving a lot, it's about having something, because none of us truly knows what tomorrow holds. We don't prepare out of fear. We prepare out of wisdom and self-respect. We believe that God protects, provides, and heals, but sometimes preparation is part of that protection. Your future health deserves thoughtful planning just as much as your present health deserves compassionate care. Build community before you need it. Join support groups, connect with local organizations or faith communities, and offer help when you can. Relationships formed in calm often become lifelines in crisis. People genuinely want to help. You just have to allow yourself to be seen. Raise awareness, especially for lesser known conditions. When you're ready, share your journey, not just to inform others, but to remind those facing similar battles that they're not alone. If you're healthy right now, a gentle reminder. Chronic illness can affect anyone at any time. So while you're well, begin building a small emergency fund. Explore protection options if appropriate, and check in on someone who may be silently struggling. Because sometimes the greatest support isn't financial, it's someone choosing to care. If this video helped clarify the hidden financial and emotional challenges of living with chronic illness, please share it with someone who may need to hear this. Your comment could be the encouragement someone has been waiting for. Share your story, your tips, or any resources that helped you. Let's create a space where no one has to walk this journey alone. Subscribe if you value honest conversations about life's unspoken realities. Turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more stories about overcoming challenges, building resilience, and finding strength through everyday struggles. Whether you're living with chronic illness, supporting someone who is, or simply preparing for what tomorrow may bring. Please remember this: you are not alone. Together, we can raise awareness, build support systems, and help make the path a little gentler for those who walk it after us. Thank you for watching and for being part of a community that chooses compassion over assumption.